Project management has evolved. The requirements have changed, the expectations have changed. What we manage, how we manage has changed. And for that, the management methodologies have evolved. And for that, we have the cutting edge tools from pen and paper to my favorite MS project. We have moved on to TFS and Jira. Today, I'll be training on Jira. My name is Devansh Orthia. Let's move forward. So let's start the Jira training. I've created a course content. Let's take a look. We'll look into the navigation, how to create a project, board, and how to edit the projects, different roles, workflow automation, how to create different kind of issues, how to do the edit, backlog, stories, change the story, how to assign points, time estimate, how to do the tracking, and various things, a long list. Cool. There are 43 items that I have listed down. Basically, we are going to learn what are projects, Scrum, Kanban, boards, dashboards, and reports. So you need to log into this. If you are already using Jira, then I'm sure you will have enterprise version, or maybe you're using the free version, so you don't have to do this step. But if you're new to Jira, this is where you can create an account, a free account, but that is web-based. Atlassian.com/software/Jira/free. I have copy pasted and it's right here. And you'll have two options, Confluence and Jira Service Management. In this training, I'm going to teach you Jira Service Management. There's another training in which I will be teaching what is Confluence. So you select this. You cannot select both actually. You select one and click on next, create an account. It doesn't require the credit card. And once you create the account, it will take a while, 5 minutes, and then your account will be ready. I'm using my own account. So it looks like this for me. So once you log in, you will have a blank kind of screen, but on this is called the ribbon. On this, you will have Jira, your work. If you click on your work, you'll have recent issues that you have created. You'll have board. If you will have zero board, and you'll have queue. You can click on all board. I'm not sure if you'll have this option if you don't have any board. The next option is project. View all projects, create project. Now, if I click on view all project, I'll see a list of the projects. Don't worry, right now you don't see anything. But for me, or let's say if you have multiple projects, this is how you will see. And if you want to create a project, you can click on this, create a project, or you can use this option. This option, create project. Company manage, try a team managed project. Then we have filters. There are a few standard filters, open issues, all issues, my open issues. My open issues means out of all the open issues, the issues which are assigned to you, they are my open issues. Or you can go for advanced issue search. Then we have dashboard, view all dashboards, create a dashboard. We'll cover this as well. People, invite a teammate, start a team. Now, this is pretty easy. You can just click on it and add a teammate. It will give you an option to add a teammate by email. I am not going to demo this because I don't want to invite anyone, but you can just type the name and it will show you to select which one you're talking about or which one you want to pick. And then apps, you can attach or you can connect Slack, GitHub, GitLab. If you click on create, it will give you option to create issues. Now, there are different kind of issues, or let me call it like this. In Jira, there are different types of issues. There's epic, there's story, there's task, there's subtask, there's bug, but all are at the same level. It's just a subtask which is at one hierarchy down. Now, let me cancel it. Before we go ahead and do this, let us create a project, company managed project. Now, in a company managed project, let's give a name. Project 1 the project with that name already exists. Now the problem with Jira is, even if you have a project and if you delete that, you cannot create the project with the same name again. Now I had a project, I had created a project by project one, I know that, and I had deleted it because I had created that for a demo purpose. I deleted that, but still I cannot create project one. So can I create project two? No, I cannot create project two as well. Can I create project three? Yes. Now, as soon as I create project three, the key is project three. And if I change the name to project Devansh 3, so you see it is PD3. Okay, so it will take automatically the key, but I can change the key. I can name it key. Let me not do that. So P3, let that be. Now down here, I need to pick which template I have to use, whether I'm going for a Kanban methodology to do the project management, or am I going I'm going to use the Scrum methodology to use or to do the project management. Or this is just a bug tracking kind of project. Now that's under software. If you click right over here, there's work management, there's service project. Let's take a look at the work management. Under work management, there's project management, task tracking, process control, and you have many right over here. Pick the one that suits your need. Okay, I'm going to demo under software, Kanban and Scrum. Most of your need, 99% of your need will be taken care by Kanban and Scrum. Even if you're creating a business project, almost it will take care. Now, I'm going to demo you first the Scrum. Let's click on it. Now, I'm assuming that you guys are very clear about the Scrum methodology and Kanban methodology. That's why you're learning Jira. If not, then you need to take training on that. But I will give you a brief about it while training. Now, Kanban and Scrum both comes under Agile framework. Okay. Now, as soon as we created a project, it automatically created a board. Okay. Let me repeat. As soon as I created the project, it automatically created the board. And we are under active sprint. But it does not mean any sprint is running. That's just the name of this. Active sprint. Okay. But right now you don't see any sprint, but it says that there are no active sprints. To start a sprint, go to the backlog. Backlog means it's a log that has the list of all the issues that you have created. Okay, it's a list. Backlog is nothing but a list of all the issues that you've created. Now, issues that we captured earlier, issue can be an epic, can be a story, task, subtask, bug. Now, epic is at the broader level. Under epic, you'll have multiple story. Under story, you can have subtask, or under epic you can have task, and under task you can have subtask. Clear? Okay. Now you need not to have epic. You can directly have story. You can directly have task. You directly cannot have a subtask because subtask is a subtask under story, or it's a subtask under task, right? You can also have a subtask under epic, if I'm not wrong. We will check that. Okay. Now, if you see, we have to do, we have in progress and done. Okay. Now, let's go to backlog and see if we have anything. We don't have anything because we have not created an issue, right? Then we have report, issues, component, code, release, project pages, add item, project settings. Click on project settings. Now here I can name the project. If I want to change it, I can change the key. I can create a URL. I can write a description. This is a training project on Jira. This is my name. Default assign is unassigned. You can, I'm not going to click on this, but you can, if you click on this, you can assign to your team member, or you can, if you don't have, you can actually add your team members right over here. You can select an image, just click here and you can select an image. People, automations, summary, issue types, Let's save it. Let's save the details. It's running. Okay. Issue types. Now you can see here it says epic, a bigger user story that needs to be broken down. So epic can be creating a website can be an epic, or company going digital can be an epic. Let's take a simple example. Company creating a company website. XYZ company wants to create xyz.com to capture the online business. Now story can be the front end and the back end. Now on the front end, they will be front end like user interface and UI, UX, and blah, 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 many things, right? Under back end, there'll be a backend database. There will be a backend UI for the admin, right? There will be different functionalities. These are the user stories you can create, and you can go granular in that. Then you have to create let's say under front end there'll be a login story. Create a login. Within login there'll be a task. Login by email, login by Facebook, login by Google, right? Those are 3 subtasks. So you need to create your story, then task and subtask. So functionality or a feature expressed as a user goal. So creating a login feature is a story. Task is login by email, login by Facebook, login by Google, login by Twitter. These can be tasks. Subtask, a small piece of work that's a part of the larger task. Now, login by email, the front end and the back end can be 2 subtasks. Okay. Now, issue layout. Now we can change it. However, I don't want to focus on this. Let's spend time on picking up the important part first. So let's click on back to project. Okay, we are back to board. Just see that it will highlight where you are right now. So we are in active sprint. Click on backlog. Oh, we don't have any. Now, if you don't have any, what I can do is I can just click on this button, create. So I am going to create few issues under project 3, the project that we just created. But if I want to change the project, I can click here and I can pick the project which I want to pick. These are all the project names. So if you see project 2 is right here. Project 1 you don't see because I had deleted that, but still it wouldn't allow me to create. So project 2, that's project 3. I'm going to create an epic first. I'm going to type epic 1 name. Just that I've written this so that you know that this is a field where I've written epic 1 name in the name field. Then epic 1 summary. So that you know that I've written this in the summary name. Okay. Then epic 1 description. Now, let's say if I'm creating an epic, epic is creating a website, and then there is a requirement document from the stakeholders or from the client, from the customer. I can browse and I can select that requirement document and I can attach here in this epic so that people can refer to it later. Linked issues. This is exactly the way the task dependencies work. So don't worry whether it is epic or story or task what I'm creating. I'll call it issue. So we can connect 2 issues. Let's say there are 2 issues, A, B, and B can start only when A completes. So I can define the dependencies here, exactly the way we do it in MS Project or any other project management tool. Now issue, which issue, if I want to let's say B is dependent on A. So I need to select which issue it is dependent on. I'm not going to do the demo right now. Right now, the first focus is let's learn how to create the issues. So select the project, select the issue type. I'm picking Epic. And then assigning automatic. You can assign to whom you're going to assign that. Priority. It is highest. Label. This will be used for searching. We'll pick this up. Sprint. We don't have any sprint right now. Okay, these are not the sprint in which I want to assign, but if you have just created, you will not have any sprint. So we'll create the sprint, then we will assign. But I'll tell you a shortcut how to assign that. Okay, I can click on create, but let's take a look here, configure fields. So right now I have all these options available when I'm creating an issue. You can click on all are selected. I'm cool with this. And I click on create. I can click on create another. So it will skip one step. I will not need to click on create again here. It doesn't save much of time, but it's good. Create. Create. Okay. Now I'm going to create a story. Story 1 summary. We'll copy this name and story 1 description and 30 medium. Epic link. To which epic I'm going to connect that to? I'm going to connect that to Epic 1 project 2.1. That's a okay. No, that's wrong. Our epic has to be, we are going to connect to project 3, right? So Epic 1, I'm going to connect this to P31 because that's our project. So this is Epic 1 name under the project P3. That's project 3. Our code, our key is P3. Okay. Sprint. We don't have any sprint, so I can just click on uncheck this, click on create. Now you see only story 1, only one issue here, but you see that it is connected to Epic 1 name. That's the name of the epic, right? Epic 1 name. Now that's a backlog we are in. If you click on roadmap, you see where is the epic. You don't see the epic. If you click on roadmap, Epic 1, there's one epic. We'll come to the roadmap later. Now we have one story. Let me click here. Did you realize that I just clicked here, create issue? Let's click here, type WordPress story 2 summary. Okay, that's the second story I'm going to create. Done. Now click on this. From here again, I can create or I can cancel it. And there's one more option to create. I don't know where it's gone. Cool, never mind. I can click on this again. Click create another story. Story 3 summary. And story 3 description. And again, that goes to this epic. Click on create. Cool. Now if you see, the story 1 and story 3 are connected to that epic, but story 2 is not, right? Story 2, let's open this and assign this also to epic 3. Now we have 3 stories. I can drag and make it move it up and down like this. Okay. So we have 3 stories. All 3 stories are connected to Epic 1. And now let me click one of the story. Now, as soon as I click on one of the story, you see this story has opened on the right side. I have multiple options. I can assign a document, attach a document to a story right here. I should not have clicked on it. Cancel. Right here, I can link a web page or something here. I can click on these three dots. I can add an app. You will not utilize this, I know. 99% of the time we don't require this. We require this and we require this. I can change the name, story one summary. I can change the name here. Click on this checkbox and I can give it a vote. I can share this just by clicking, type the name and send. And I can change the status from to do to done or to put that in progress. There are three status: to do, in progress, done. And I can assign it to somebody right here. And this is Epic. This is a link. If I click on it, the whole Epic will open. I don't want to do that. I can click outside and I can change the Epic to which I want to link. I don't want to change the Epic. The priority is medium. I want to make it low. 5 more fields. If I click on 5 more fields, I see this original estimate as 0 minute. Right? So M means minute, H means hour, D means day. So I'm going to say that 10 minutes. This task is going to take 10 minutes and I'm going to click on this checkbox. And then it is not assigned to anyone, any sprint. Story point, let me give it 2 story point. And I click on this check. Now if I want to change this, okay, we have already checked. So if you see, I gave it 2 story point and 10 minutes. How much time is spending? I don't. We will use this once we start the sprint, not right now. And I'm not assigning to sprint because we have not created a sprint. And I can write a comment over here, something, save it. I don't want to do that. Just cancel. And if you see over here, these 3 dots, if I click on this, I have add a flag. Let's click on add a flag. So it will flag an issue. Right? Something is going wrong, I can flag an issue. I remove the issue. Sorry, remove the flag. Slack channel, I'm not covering that. Move. Now, if I click on move, it will give me an option to move this story point or to move this particular issue. Do I want to change the project? I want to move it from one project to another project. I can do it from here. Or I want to change the issue type. From story, I want to change it to, let's say, task or subtask or epic, something, or bug. So this is the option that I can pick. I don't want to change it. That was only for the demo purpose. So I click on cancel. Okay. Now, other option is I want to clone exactly the same thing. So click on clone. And I want to name it like story 4. Or maybe let's leave it 1. Clone 1 summary. And it will assign it under the same epic. It will be exactly the clone of that. Okay. If I want to delete a story, I can just click on it and delete. I don't want to delete anything. And yeah, most of the things that you're going to use in day-to-day, in your day-to-day work, I've already told you. Now let's click outside. Story or description. This is where we write the description. What the story is all about. Cancel. Cancel. Now click on backlog on the left side. And you see now we have 4 story points. Okay. 2 with the medium or high kind of whatever priority we had given, and 2 are on low. Now if you see on the left side we have version and epic. If you click on epic, now we have all issues. epic 1, which means we have only one epic right now. I can click on this link, create epic. I can create another epic. I can create epic from here as well. If you see this arrow, epic 1 arrow, and there's inverted arrow down here. And if you see the colors are same, this is kind of violet. The colors are same. If I click here and I want to change the color to orange. Now this is orange and this is not changed. I click on refresh. Now if I click on refresh, now all the epics are epic like this. Now if you want to use the color kind of filter, then this is wonderful. Now click on this. If you expand, it shows that we have 4 issues, 0 are completed, 2 are unestimated, and 4 estimates. So let's click on one of the issue and see if it is estimated or not. This is estimated, 2 story point 10 minutes. How about this? So let's give 2 story point. Click here and give it 10 minutes. And second story point 2. You can give story point on the basis of how big is the task. I'm just using it for the demo purpose, 10 minutes. And the last one, okay. Now you see there are 4 issues. Total estimate is 8 because for all the 4 stories, or for all the 4 issues, we have given 2 story points. The total estimate is 8. Completed 0, unestimated 0. Okay. Issues without epics, there is 0, there is nothing. Now I close this. Now this is how let me close this as well. Now this is how it looks like. Under backlog, I have 4 story points I have 4 stories of 4 issues. Now I want to run it. I want to run the sprint. But before I run the sprint, let me show you a few things. Let me click on these 3 dots and here, create board. I don't want a board because my board is already right here. Active sprint. This is my board, to do, in progress, and done. Okay. What I want to do is I need to run the sprint. To run the sprint, I need to come to backlog. But before I do that, let me take you to board settings. If you come under board setting, you should be by default under general. Under general, I can change the board name. I can change the admin name. I can change the location where this board resides, project 3. But I don't want to do that. Let it be project 3. And there are a few other things. You can change the view permission. Now, you might not have this because you will be a user in the company, not an admin. Columns. Now, if you remember in our board, we have 3 options: to do, in progress, and done. Now, assume that I don't require this part. So I drag it and I click, and I drag it and I drop it under unmap. It should allow me, not allow me, so I'll just delete it. Okay, good. It should have actually allowed me to just drop it under unmapped statuses. It did not, but if you just click on it, delete option, it will just come over here. Now, when it comes over here, I click on back to board. Now, if I click on back to board, let's go to active sprint, and you see right now we don't have that in progress item. We have to do and we have done. Now let me go back to the board settings by clicking there, swim lanes. Swim lane is under the board. Let me take you back to board. We will have stories. Stories can be just like in a swimming pool, we have lanes. So it will create a kind of lane. We'll have either the lanes by assigning. So it will have my name, Devansh, and everything aligned to it, like a category. Or we can club it by color, or we can club it by done or not done. So that's called the swim lane. So we can club it by stories or assignees or epics or projects. Right now it is none. What you can do is you're gonna club it by epics. Now, how do I demo it? Because I have only one epic. But if you club it by epic, so let's say there's epic 1 and epic 2. So you'll have epic 1 and all the stories under it. That's one swim lane. Then second swim lane is epic 2 and all the stories under it. Card colors. Color. Do I want to pick a color by issue type? That's the one. I can change it by clicking here. Don't want to do that. Priorities. Highest, high, medium, low, lowest. On the base of assignee, everything marked to Devansh, mark it red. Everything marked to X, mark it blue, mark it green. Right? Estimation. Estimation is, I want to estimate by story point, or I want to estimate by issue count, or I want to estimate by original time estimate. I pick this. Okay. Second, if you see, there was an option under story point where we assigned a story, where we assigned story point to a story. There was an option time tracking. So right now, just click on remaining estimated time spent. It will show you how much you have spent time and how much is remaining. Working days. Just like in MS Project, you can select the number of days working, or you can select also the time, 8 hours or 6 hours, kind of. Here, it defines Monday to Friday. You can make Saturday, Sunday working, if at all you're making your teamwork. You can add the date, which date is the holiday. Let's say you want to add 25th of December is a holiday, 1st of January is a holiday, and XYZ. You can do that over here. Roadmap. Roadmap I will show you right here on the left side, not right now. Now click on back to board. Now we want to run the sprint. I go to backlog and I want to click on create a sprint. I'll teach you in the next session. All right, guys. Thank you so much. My name is Devansh. Bye. Hi all. This is Devansh. Let's move forward with our next session on Jira. So till now, we have learned how to create different kind of issues, what are the options available, how to check the active sprint, backlog, and how to get into the dashboard settings, and what are the settings that is available for us, right? Now, as we have created story and we have already assigned story points, and what is the time estimate, how to open a story, how to edit the story, and various stuffs. Right? We checked how to change the status and how to clone, how to move, how to delete, how to flag. And this is a time tracking. I'm not going to assign the time right now because you have not started, but let's assume that this is a 10-minute and you put 5 minutes, it is done. So half of this bar will become like blue and another half will remain yellow. Once you complete, the entire thing will become blue, which indicates that this particular story is done. All right, now as we have 4 stories in our backlog, this is the time we can actually create the sprint. Now, to create the sprint, or should I tell you how to create the roadmap first? Let's create the roadmap. Now, in the roadmap, we have this epic. Now, you see these 4 stories are under epic 1, and we have 1 epic. Let us say I want to have 1 more epic, and I name it epic 2, and I create 1 more. Let's say epic 3. Okay, I have 3 epics, and down here you see there is week, month, quarter. We are in month, in June. So assume that our epic 1 is of 20 days. So from this date till the end of June, I mark it 20 days. Now let's assume epic 2 is of 15 days. I mark it 15 days like this. Epic 3 is also 15 days. I mark it from here to here. You see on my extreme right, if you can see, extreme right, 15 days, it's showing 15D. Now 16D, 17D, right? I'll just stop at 15D. So this is how I have marked. That's my roadmap. Now if you see, if I hover on it, there is a dot over here and then there's a dot over here. Call it dot, call it ball, whatever, right? This is where we can actually assign the dependency. Let us assume this epic 2 is dependent on epic 1. So unless and until epic 1 is done, epic 2 cannot start. So I can connect this just by dragging. Now this cannot start. Okay. Now let's say epic 2, once epic 2 finishes, then only epic 3 starts, which means epic 3 is dependent on epic 2. Now I can connect it, right? Now let's assume that by mistake, I make epic 3 start by 10th of June or 10th of July. You see, this is turned red. We say, we have defined that epic 3 cannot start before epic 2, or it cannot start before epic 2 ends. But here we are actually starting it before epic 2 ends. That's why this dependency is showing red. But if I correct this dependency by moving epic 3 a little further ahead, you see now that this dependency is correct. So that's your roadmap. Okay. Now let's go back to backlog and let's create a sprint. Plan your sprint. As a team, agree on what work needs to be completed and drag these issue items to the sprint. Now we are seeing, if you see over here, we are under projects, project 3, V3 board, V3 board, project 3 board. We will see the issues which are of this project. If I need to see epic, I can just click on it. There's only one epic. Now if you see epic 2, epic 3 has also come because we just created them right over here. We could have created from here as well. Right? Now if you go to backlog, collapses epic 1, epic 2, epic 3. Now we want to run only epic 1. Let me cross this. We want to run only epic 1 in our current sprint. So how many stories? I want to run all the stories. I have 4 people. Let them work on four stories. And to do that, I can drag and drop. That is one way, or I can open it and I can go to this place, show 3 more fields. I can assign the sprint from here, but I don't want to do that because for that I need to remember the sprint. So P3 sprint 1. Let's see one more time. P3 sprint 1. Somebody see P3 sprint 1. This is the one. Click on it. Now you see I assign it, it directly comes here. Okay. The easier way is just drag and drop. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Now I can click on start sprint, or I can edit sprint, delete sprint. I don't want to do that. Let us start the sprint. If you remember, we have created, or we have put only 10 minutes for each story. Okay. So I can put the story name as P3 sprint 1. I'm going for 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, 4 week. I'm going for custom. And 10:50, let's say it should start at 10:54 and it should end today at 10:54, right? So it will become, if it is a 4 minutes story, sorry, 10 minutes story, it will end at 11:04. Okay, you can just write some description. Don't write description, code description. We'll start. Done. Now, if you guys remember, in the board, we had 3 columns: to do, progress, and done. But I told you, just to give you the demo, that you can actually increase or decrease the number of columns I removed in progress. Otherwise, I could have, once my story is in progress, or once the sprint starts, I can hold all my stories and drag it in progress. Okay. And then once it is done, I drag it in done. Or I can just click on it and I in progress. But I don't do that because I want to show you how to create the report. So let's go to report and the famous burn down chart for Agile. If you see how to read this, it's starting on 10th of June, it is ending on 10th of June, and it is only for 10 minutes. Now we have picked a very small duration. That's why you don't see all the time duration 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 1 minute is up. That's why it is showing this graph has increased by 1 minute. Okay. Now if I click on, it has moved further ahead this bar. After 10 minutes, if you see, it's just go on moving till here, unless until I drop the story points. Like if I say that, hey, one of the story is done and I drop it, so you'll see a flat like one. Let me give you a demo. I'll go to active sprint. Assume that this is done and I pick it and I drag it. Okay, before I do that, you see P32. Let me, this P32, you'll see it'll show a strike off. Now let me drag and drop. See strike off. Strike off means it is done. Now if I go to report one more time, and I click on this burn down chart, there should have been a drop. Okay, it should have been a drop. One drop, that one strike one is done. It's showing a dot over here. Issue status change, issue completed. Okay, it says issue status change, issue completed. Remaining time is 0. Let's want this particular one. Now let's go back to project. Go back to sprint. Track this, it's done. Go to the report. Go to the burn down chart. You see 2 story points are done. Burn up will not be supported. Okay. One drop here, one is dropped here. Okay, let's move further ahead. In that meantime, let's take a look at code setting one more time. With this I've taught you, you can change the color as well. Column. Okay, one thing now, column constant, we have to do and done. Now let's say I want to put a column constant, issue count. Now, as soon as I click on issue count, it means it gives me an option to control how many issues can be under this column. Minimum can be 1, maximum can be 100, 100. Then it will not allow you to have 101st issue because we have put a constant over here. So it is as simple as you just put that number. Done. If I want to do that, I'm going to put any constant, so let it be as it is. Okay. Now if I want to add another column between, let's say I want to add to do and done, in between to do and done I want to write testing, I can create here testing and it will show in between. I don't want to do that, I just want to be fine with to do and done. In the meantime, let's go to the burn down chart one more time. Sometimes it just doesn't work on click. I see this time is just going forward, and down under here we have a table format. it says that we had 4 issues, 2, 3, 4, 5, and its sprint started. All 4 were of 10 minutes. So total time for that is 40 minutes. And if you see, we have done the issue status change, issue completed. Issue completed. 2 and 4 are completed, 3 and 5 are running. Okay. Now let it run. Let's go back to project. Go backlog. We see the Strikeoff over here as well. These 2 are running. In backlog, we have 0 issues. We can create issues in the meantime. All right. Now total time remaining is 20 minutes. Dot 1, dot 2. If I drop one more, we'll have one more dot over here. Now, if you see, we have 1, 2, 3 minutes remaining. Okay. Now let me go back to project and drop one more issue. For that, I need to go to backlog. Sorry, active sprint. Let it finish this. It's finished. Go to Kanban chart. You see the third we dropped here. Okay, showing it then here. 1, 2, and 3. Now back to project and go make the sprint. Backlog, you see now 10 minutes is remaining. 30 minutes is done. Okay. Now let's open this. And it is a 10-minute issue. Story point 2. No time lock. Till now we have not put any time. Let's say 6 minutes done. So you see automatically showing 4 minutes. So the blue line has come. Only 4 minutes remaining. Now let's go back to reports and go to burn-down chart. You see, this must be a burned, right? And let's go back to project. Let's go back to active sprint, and let's say this is done. All are done, right? All are done. Go back to report. Go back to burn-down chart, and we dropped it 1, 2. We dropped here. Issue status changed. Issue completed. P3. Third issue or third stop point. Remaining time estimated changed from 10 minutes to 4 minutes. Issue status changed. So whenever we have changed the status, we see the dots over here. Now, one last thing. Let's go back to the project sprint, and the sprint is still running. We have completed all the 4 issues, so we have to click on complete sprint. Complete. Now, as soon as we click on complete sprint, it will come directly over here. Okay, now go down. Story, all 4 were story. P2, 3, 4, 5. All are done. 10 minutes, 10 minutes. We finished slightly before 10 minutes were over. Okay. So this is how we see the burn-down chart. Now let's go back to the project. Now what I'm going to teach you, I've taught you Scrum. Now I'm going to teach you, I'll come back to the dashboard. Till now we have covered how to create a project, how to create different kind of issues and different settings under issues, how to create a sprint, how to run a sprint, how to check backlog, how to check the roadmap. And what is remaining is the Kanban board, the Kanban reports, and the dashboard. Right? So I'm ending this right here. We have almost understood how to run a Scrum project. And in the next session, I will run Kanban, and then we will learn how to create a dashboard. All right, guys. So great. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Hi, everyone. This is Devansh. Let's move forward with our third session on Jira. So till now, we have learned what is kind of Jira and how do we use it for Scrum. We learn how to create different kind of stories, or we call it issues, different kind of issues, how to create board, how to do settings of project and of storyboard, how to check the backlog, how to create the roadmap, how to assign all the backlog or some of the issues of the backlog into sprint, how to activate a sprint or how to run a sprint, and then how to create different kind of reports. I showed you only one down report because that is what normally people use, but there are multiple kind of reports that you can use. The one thing which is remaining is I'm going to teach you how to create a dashboard. Click on this, view all dashboard, create dashboard. Now you have to listen to me one thing carefully. If you don't understand, just go move backward and listen again. In the dashboard, you can show matrices in one dashboard. You can show matrices of multiple projects. Let me repeat. In one dashboard, you can show multiple matrices. And these multiple matrices can be of one project or can be of multiple projects. So let's say if I'm a portfolio manager, or if I'm a program manager, I want to pull multiple matrices from different streams. Few matrices from the finance department, shown as a burn down chart, that how my finance is getting down. Another from the project management point of view, how I'm moving forward in my work progress. Right? So two different streams. If I'm a portfolio manager and I handle a support project and all not support project, if I'm portfolio manager and I hold support portfolio, and under my support portfolio, there are 4 different products with support function. So I will show the matrices of 4 different projects. Now for each project, I might show, for project 1, I might show 2 matrices. For project 2, I might show 3. For project, the next project I show multiple, and for the next project I show 5, 6 matrices. So I can have 10 different matrices of 4 projects in one dashboard. Hope this is clear. But right now, for the demo purpose, as we have created just one project, I'm going to show you the matrices of one project. And that too, just for the demo purpose, because we created only 4 story points. Let's say I want to create a dashboard. What's the name? P3 dashboard. Let's write some description, dashboard description. Project for group, my organization, I make it private. So I can add, if I want to add somebody, I want to add it for the whole group, I can add the group. If at all I've created a group. If you go to people, you'll have option to add the group, or you can add people one by one. And I click on save. Now, as soon as you will do that, it will get you onto this page, P3 dashboard. This is called the layout, canvas. If I want to change the layout, let's say I have 2 projects. So this layout is good. But let's say what if I have 3 projects? So change layout, and I can just click on it. 4. So, sorry, 3 or 2 or 2 or just 1. I'm not picking my layout on the basis of the number of projects. You can show 2 matrices, 1 matrix here, 1 matrix here, as simple as that. or you can show 4, 2 under this, 2 under this. This is just a layout. Now, how do I add gadget? I can click here, add gadget. But if I click here, all the gadgets which I'll add, it will fix here, like in the first one. Now, let's say if I add 2 gadgets over here, let me show you. So, click on this, all gadgets. One thing that everyone uses is agile wallboard gadget. I'll teach you what wallboard is. Click this, add gadget. Using something came up over here. I'll show you. And let's say average age card. These charts might not populate, okay, because we don't have much of data. And this one pie chart also, this one. But if I will add, if you see, we added 2 of the charts and both have added 1 under each other, correct? Now, there's nothing over here. I want to pick this and drop it right over here. Yeah. Now, I want to add one more gadget. Let's say I want to add the pie chart. Just click on chart on the left side. And this one, like this. Click outside to close. So, what I added pie chart, oh, cool. Now, if you see, I have option to pick a project. P3 was a project, right? P3. And update every 5 minutes, 15 minutes. And I want my stats on the piece of assignee. Basically, there's only one assignee, so it wouldn't be a good idea. Issue type. There's only one issue type, story type. What is got 2, right? Let me click on save. You see it was highest, medium, low. Basically, we had 3 parties. So this is 1 hour pie chart. Another, so again, this board and P3 board. Show board name and refresh interval every 15 minutes. Click on save. Nothing popped in because we have not done anything to do and done. And every chart P3 again, right? Let's pick up another P3 project. I can pick up another project also, but I don't want to do that. And period is daily. Let's save. Let's put data, by the way. I can drag and drop it over here. Didn't work. Okay, now it works. I can keep it like this. People can actually expand it, see it, close it, or I can just let it be the way it is. Sorry, just let it be like this. Okay. Change the color. We just play around. I wanted to teach you how to actually use this. Now it is up to you how you are going to manage. There are different ways. You can expand. If you hover on it, it will show you the percentage and all. It basically works as in a very interactive way. Just be smart, use it. It's no rocket science. All right, guys. I'll meet you in the next session where we will cover Kanban, and then maybe one more session to capture Kanban board and other reports. Okay. This is Devanshu signing off. Hi everyone, it's Devansh. Welcome to the next session, session number 4 on Jira. And in this session, we'll be covering how to manage the project through Kanban, or basically how to manage project on Jira using the Kanban template. Let's move forward. So till now we have completed Scrum in 3 sessions, and for Kanban, let's say we are going to manage a project on Kanban. So we have to create the project first. Let's click on this, create project. Project name is, we are just going to use a similar kind of pattern that we use in Scrum. Project 4. before, keys before, and change the template over here and pick Kanban, connect across, connect work across two. We don't want to connect right now. Click on create, and boom, we have a slightly different kind of board. If you remember, in Scrum we had 3 columns: to do, in progress, done. Here we have 4 columns: backlog. We don't have to do. We have selected for development, in progress, done. Okay. Now let us go. We can actually go to project settings. I'm just taking you there. We have already covered this in the Scrum. So here are things that you see, pretty similar that was there in the Scrum. Save detail or cancel. We didn't make any changes. Let's move forward. Role. Type the email address xyz@xyz.com and assign him a role. Admin, developer, service tax, customer, depends upon you. We are using a free version and I don't have anyone in my team, so I don't have this option enabled, add people, but it is as simple as you just click on it, add people, and type the name, or you'll actually see the list. You can actually pick the people from the list, or if it is a long list with hundreds of people, and how will you search? So just type XYZ, it will show you the name XYZ something. Okay. Issue type. So these are the issue types. We can actually edit the layout. Right? How many do we want? We can make the changes over here. I'm not getting it, and I don't suggest you to change this because after a lot of research, they have created these issue types. And these are the standard things. 99% of the case, you'll actually be using it. Okay, so that is why I had not captured things which we will not use even in the Scrum. I'm not going to do that even in the Kanban. So my intention was to show you that once you've gained expertise, and if you want to change your project setting, you can go right here, exactly the similar way that we had done in Scrum. Okay. Now I can create an issue over here. I can go to the board setting. This is the board. When you create a project, every project by default creates a board. And if I click here, it takes the board setting. Just so I click here. Let's go to board setting. General. I can change few general board settings over here. Hide completed issues older than 2 weeks. Okay. I don't want Jira to hide the issues which are older than 2 weeks because I think there will be some issues which will run for a month. So I change my setting over here. And then I go to columns. Now in columns, just like Scrum, I have constant. In Scrum by default, there is no constant, but in Kanban, it is based on basically moving issues from one stage to another stage. So by default, we have issue count as a constant, and we can define. I can write the number of issues I want it to be here. Right? And then I can, okay, so auto save. Swim lane, we have already discovered, or we have already discussed how to create a swim lane on the basis of epics. Okay. Group issues under their epic. Issues not assigned to an epic will be shown in their own group at the bottom. Epics with no issue on the board will not be shown. So let it be epic, just for the demo purpose. Card color. Let's say I want to create a card color on the basis of issue type. I have not created an issue, so it's not showing anything. Working days, we discussed 5. I want to create Saturday also. Now add the date 25th December for holiday or whichever holiday you want to select. Roadmap, we have already discussed this in the Kanban, sorry, in the Scrum. I'm not going to cover it again in Kanban. It is exactly the same concept. So if you have not seen my previous video, just watching that. Right now we are in the 4th session. You want to check session number 2. Okay. Now Let's go back to board. If you see the board, we have backlog, selected for development, in progress, and done. Now let's create some issue. Let me create an epic first, and I name it epic one name, and epic one summary, and epic one description. Assign automatically. You need to click on this and assign appropriately to the person who is responsible to work. Create. Okay. Where it's gone. Welcome to that. Let's create a story. I'll show you where it's gone and how it is different from Scrum. Story one summary and story one description. Assign it under the epic, this one. Create. Okay. Now I'm going to create epic 2 because I want to show you the sibling. What's twice name and summary. And I need to create story 2 and story 2 option. Assign it under assign it low. Assign it under epic name 2. Let's create one more story. Story 3. The description. And I'm going to put that story 3 under low. And epic will be the first one. Create. Now, if you remember, we had created our swim lane on the basis of epic. That's why epic 2 is showing here, epic 1 is showing here. Let's go to the board setting, go to swim lane, and change it to none. And then go back to board. And you see, it is no more. There's no swim lane. It's all under one each other, right? One under another. I go back to board setting. I say back, assign it on the basis of epic. Assign it on the basis of students. No, assign it by epic. Back to board. Now you see, epic 2, epic 1 is 2 story, epic 2 is 1 story. Now you see, I need to see my backlog. Backlog is right here. Backlog I see right here but if you remember in the Scrum, we had our backlog right over here. Under roadmap, we had our backlog. If I want a similar kind of thing, just for the ease of doing thing, how do I do it? How do I change it? I go back to board settings, column, and I hold this backlog and I drop it under here. Didn't work. Why it's not working? Maybe I've already added the story because of that. Go back to board. Didn't work that. Go back to settings. 5 issues. It shows 5 issues. Drag a status here to enable. That's what I'm doing. Yes. I think I did a mistake, guys. I should have changed the column before putting my before adding. I drag it here. Okay, it's not working. Oof, that's a disaster. Okay, never mind. Should I go back to board and delete my stories? Delete. Delete. Why? Now you learn how to delete. Epic one. Now let's go back to both settings. Sure there. Okay, in the meantime, let me show you another thing. We'll come to this. Apart from this, okay. There's nothing right now. There's literally nothing. We have a clean slate like the way we started. Now let's go back to the boot settings. And I don't know why it is showing two issues over here. Let me drag and drop stuff. Working, it's not working. Okay. Back to board. We have 4 columns selected for development, in progress, done. Just concentrate on these 3. Selected for development, in progress, done. Go back to board settings. I want to change the name selected for development to just to be consistent. Okay. Now go back to board. You see it says to do, in progress, done. Okay. Now in my project, we don't have anything in. I don't want anything in progress. I just want to do and done. Okay. How do I get rid of this? Go to the board setting. In progress, just drag it. Or just click it, delete. Like the way we did in Scrum. I think for some reason this drag is not working today. And something is not working, don't challenge your capabilities. Just Jira has a lot of bugs. Back to board. You see to do and done. We got rid of that in progress. Okay. Now let's go back to board setting and let's apply a similar kind of concept. Let's click on delete. Does it come here? What the hell? It just poof, gone, it's gone. Go back to board. No, we lost our. Go back to board setting. Usually, what I was trying to show you, I'm just trying to show you a very simple thing. If we could have dragged and dropped it here, our backlog thing here, the backlog would have appeared over here on the roadmap, just like the way it was in Scrum. Okay. Somehow I just dragged and dropped it over here. Now it is working. I don't know why it was not working directly from here. It should, but by default should. So now when I drag and drop it here, you see this backlog option has come over here, right? Now let's go back to the board. Now we have only 2 columns over here, to do and done. And our backlog, just like our Scrum board, it's right here. And we have epic 1 summary here, and we have epic 2 summary here. But under epic, we don't have any story. So let's create a story. Story summary, I'm just going to create. Oh, the problem is I need to assign it to. Let me assign 5 minutes. Click on check and epic link. I'm going to assign it to epic one. This. Okay. And then I'm going to create another story. And I'm going to assign it to 2. Now we have roadmap like epic 1, expand it. Under epic 1 we have story 1, under epic 2 we have story 2. Go back to backlog. So I can drag epic 1, and epic 2 we have story 2. Close it. Okay. Now if you see, we don't have this option of run the sprint, right? Because in Scrum you run the sprint. In Kanban you don't run the sprint. You do and done. You did like you do it on daily basis. Now here, there are no issues on the board, because if you go to the Kanban board, there's absolutely no issue. There's nothing in to do. Everything is in the backlog. So I need to assign. Just like Scrum, when we were creating the sprint log, we were just dragging and dropping. Same, we need to drag and drop right over here. Now, 4 things are here. 4 story or 4 issues are right here. If I go to Kanban board, I see it right here, epic 1 and epic 2, because we created our swim lane. We created our swim lane by epic. If we had none, go back to board. You see now it is not clubbed. Okay, I don't want to club it for Kanban. It's not required. Now this is my board. When it is done, I drag and drop it right here, or I click on it and I change set for development. I mark it done. Okay, so that is how we create a Kanban board. All right, guys. See you in the next session where we will cover how to create the reports. Thank you. Signing off. Hi everyone, this is Devansh. Let me welcome you to the last session, session number 5 for Jira training. And till now we have covered multiple things. And in this session will be small, like short, and I'll cover reports. I'll not cover dashboard because we have already covered dashboard for the Scrum, and Kanban dashboard works exactly the similar way. So it will be a repeat. I don't want to waste your time. Session number 3, if you have not seen session number 3, is for the dashboard, the Scrum dashboard. Use the same concept to create the Kanban dashboard, absolutely same. Now, in the previous session, we saw that we created our board like this, and we can actually drag and drop things if it is done. As soon as we drag and drop here, it's a cross mark, and if you have not checked, we can actually assign a story point exactly the same way we had done it in Scrum. But I had captured that you have to assign the time. Otherwise, how will you know whether the person is doing the work on time or not? Okay. Now let's assume this is the current stage of our Kanban board or the project, and you being a project manager want to see the report how we are progressing. Assume that there are hundreds of things. Go to report, and let's say I want to pick up the pie chart report. So it will ask me, do you want to see the report by assigning? By assigning means by the resources. Okay, I cannot demo that because there's just one resource, which is me, but I can show you that how to create a report on the basis of epic status. Click on next. Now none, irrelevant to, and there are there are different ways you can create a chart. There's cumulative flow diagram. The numbers are very less, so just bear with it. It basically looks like an area chart. Okay. All reports. Click on pie chart again. And let me create a pie chart of a basic issue type. Next. So there are only 4 issues, 2 are historic and 2 are epic. So this is how the pie chart on the basic issue type looks like. So basically you have to pick up the right chart which is right for your own project, right? And the right metrics. Which metrics you want to show in that, right? You want to show in the chart. First the metrics and then the chart. All report. So there's control chart. If you are working in a support project where you're getting tickets and tickets have different stages to do progress and done, you want to pick up the control chart. Basically n number of charts. Just pick the right one which is right for you. All right guys, this is done. Let me take you to dashboard. I won't demo you because we have exactly done this, but let me go to P3 dashboard itself. Okay. And let me add a gadget. Right. Let me add a gadget and let me add all gadget, go to chart. Let me pick up a pie chart itself. Okay. This pie chart has come over here and I want to pick P4 project on the basis of issue type. Okay, update every 15 minutes, save. Now you see here there's no data. On this data, drag and drop, just get it. Now this chart is for project number 3, but this chart is for project 4. So don't go by number project 1. That's the name that we have given. Maybe you want to write fancy that sales in APJ and marketing expenditure in APJ, right? The data set will be different for both, but you can show different projects and different matrices in one dashboard. Okay. All right, guys. I think we covered a lot, and I hope this training was sufficient. It is sufficient for you to do the day-to-day work as a project manager using Jira. I have not covered a few things. It was intentional. I don't want to create a lengthier training and covering things that you're not going to utilize, because eventually what happens, things that you learn and you don't use, you just forget it. There are multiple tools on which I was trained. I never used it. I completely lost my touch. I've forgotten. So I have stopped training people things that they're not going to require, because it doesn't make any sense. Okay, if you have any question, you need to drop me a mail. My mail ID is my first name dot last name, which is devansh.chatsiya@yahoo.com. Or you can drop in the comment, because I'll be upload. If you're watching on YouTube, you can drop it on the comment. You can just mail it directly. I'm good in mails, not too much on social media. So mail will be preferred. Thank you everyone. Bye-bye. This is Devansh signing off on Jira training.